The Baja Peninsula is a truly unique place. Spending an entire winter here in our van was an absolute dream for us. But how much did it cost?
Welcome back, we're Hayley and Jake, and for those who don't know, we're driving from Vancouver, Canada to the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico in our self-built camper van with our dog. We were lucky enough to spend the entire winter in the Baja Peninsula, and it was absolutely amazing. We were actually there for 107 days, and we kept track of all of our expenses, and we are going to be sharing them with you today.
Hopefully it will help anyone else who wants to plan a similar trip to what we've done. Jake and I quit our jobs and we don't have a source of income right now, so we keep track of our expenses to make sure that we are sticking to our travel budget.
We are going to go over all of our costs in US dollars. We're Canadian, but it's just simpler for the conversions. And we are breaking our expenses down into 5 categories. We have travel, which is things like visas and gas and parking. We have fun things, which is camping, activities, excursions. We have food, which is one of my favorite parts. Utilities, which is the things that we need to do to keep our lives in the van comfortable, and any miscellaneous purchases that pop up along the way. The first thing we want to talk about is our travel expenses. To get into Mexico, you have to get a tourist visa, which is called an FMM, which is $35 per person, and you buy in cash at the border. So we spent $70 on those. The Baja Peninsula is quite long. It's the second largest peninsula in the world, and there's a lot of beautiful areas to explore. Given that, our biggest expense for this section is gas. We spent $700 US on gas during our trip in Baja, and we went pretty much all over the peninsula. And the last thing is parking. Almost the entire Baja Peninsula has free parking, so we ended up spending a little bit when we went to visit downtown Cabo San Lucas, and that turned out to be about $7 US. Which meant our total travel expenses for this section for the entire winter in Baja is $782.15.
Our next category is fun things. The Baja Peninsula has incredible beaches and a lot of marine life. So when we were down there, we paid for a couple campsites and we did quite a few excursions. A lot of Baja, you can camp for free on the beaches. We used the app iOverlander to find them. There are a couple beaches that you need to pay to camp at. One of our favorites is Baja Concepcion. It is a very sheltered bay with beautiful world-class beaches that you're allowed to camp on. Costs about 200 pesos per day for camping, and we spent $85 US to spend 1 week camping in Baja Concepcion on El Quixote. And then for activities, we did quite a few activities when we were down in Baja. We rented a kayak when we were at Baja Concepcion so we could go out into the bay. We ended up seeing dolphins when we were kayaking, which was really fun. We also wanted to see the world's tallest cacti, which is in Valle de los Gigantes, and there's a small entry fee there. When we were down in Cabo San Lucas, we did a boat tour out to see the famous arch. And when we were in Cabo Palmo, we visited the marine park and did a snorkeling tour. In total, we spent $225 US on activities and then the $85 for camping. A couple of excursions that you can do down in Baja that we did the first time that we visited. We swam with whale sharks. This was a tour that left out of La Paz, and it included swimming with a colony of sea lions, having lunch on a secluded beach, and then swimming with the whale sharks. That was incredible. It cost $200 US per person, and it is worth every penny. The second activity that we did last time was we went to visit the gray whales. For anyone who doesn't know, Baja has a lot of whales that come to calf in the winter season, and you can go out and do tours to go visit them. One of them is the gray whales, and they're really friendly. They'll come up to the boat, you can pet them. Yeah, it was $55 US each, and also highly recommend that tour.
The next section we want to talk about is food. Our van has a fully built out kitchen, so we usually do most of our cooking in the van, but we also like to go out and try the local food when we're there as well. In Baja, food prices are pretty reasonable if you buy things that are fresh and local, and a little expensive if you buy anything that's imported from Canada or the US. We cooked most of our meals and then ate out for fun, and we ended up spending just over $1,400 US on groceries for our time in Baja. We enjoyed eating out in Baja. We tried a lot of street food, a lot of tacos, and a lot of good Mexican food. And we spent just under $300 US to try the local cuisine when we were there. Water in Baja is purified that you buy. You can't drink the tap water. So you go to a purification station, fill up your van, and you're good to go. And water is pretty reasonably priced. We only spent 51 US the entire time we were there. And our last expense in food, which we found a little expensive, was dog food. It is really expensive to buy good quality dog food in Baja, but it was worth it to keep Finnley happy and healthy, so we spent over $300 US during our time there just on dog food. Which meant for the whole winter, we spent $2,088.46 on food.
We found that street food is pretty reasonably priced, and then if you go into a restaurant, it was about 200 pesos per person for a plate, because eating out it varies per person. Next up is utilities. So this covers our laundry, which we spent $17 doing laundry, dumping our gray tank and our toilet. We typically did this at water treatment plants, and sometimes we had to pay for it, so it was cost $6. Not much. Our phone plans, our Canada phone plans don't work down here, so we got a Telcel SIM card and paid for a monthly phone plan. That was $61.50. And then propane is very reasonable down here. We filled up once and it was $5.50. And then showers, we have a shower in the van, and a lot of gas stations will let you shower for free when you buy fuel. We only paid $3 the entire time we were down there on showers. So that brings a total of $93 for our utilities.
Our last section is the miscellaneous items that didn't really fit into the other sections. So we got a screw in our tire and had to get it repaired. That cost $7 and only took about 20 minutes, which was very, very convenient. Baja is a desert, and after a few months there, we wanted to get our van washed. It was very dirty. So that cost $18 US. And lastly, our Canadian insurance does not cover us in Mexico, so we went with Baja bound insurance. When we were looking, it turned out that the price for 6 weeks and 6 months were about the same, and then the price for a whole year was only slightly more than that, so we bought a year's worth of insurance for Mexico for $915.24. So our total miscellaneous section is $940.24.
And then the grand total for our entire time down in Baja was $4,213.85, and an average per day was $39.38, and that is for 2 people and Finnley.
We had a great time visiting Baja. Being able to spend the entire winter there was something that was very special to us. It's so well set up for van life, and we felt like for the money it was pretty reasonable.
And if anyone else is on the fence about going down to Baja, we highly recommend it. Let us know if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. We're currently on mainland Mexico, and we are also keeping track of our expenses over here. So if you'd like us to make another video sharing all the expenses in the mainland or comparing it with our expenses in Baja, we can do that as well. Just let us know below.
If you're interested in seeing more from our time in Baja, we have a whole travel series about that. If you want to see what we're doing in the mainland, we have a whole series going from Canada all the way down to the Yucatan. So follow along to see that as well, and we will see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.